When Liv Morgan took on Peyton Royce on Raw this week, Ruby Riott was ringside. Of course, the week prior, we saw the reunion of 2/3 of the Riott Squad as Ruby and Liv patched up their differences on the Kevin Owens show, and we got to see the Riott Squad seemingly reunite. Now, Liv Morgan actually lost the match to Peyton Royce. Obviously, Billie Kay got involved. Ruby Riott tried to counter Billie Kay, but instead, Liv seemed to be a bit distracted by the fact Ruby got involved. The referee obviously told Ruby off. Liv sort of looked at Ruby and said, "What are you doing?" Liv lost the match, and you could clearly see the story that Liv blamed Ruby for the loss. Now, of course, those two were not happy. Ruby tried to plead her case, but literally the rift is still there. The Riott Squad reunion has not gone the way that Ruby and Liv probably would have wanted it to go. Liv has been skeptical ever since Ruby first sort of mentioned reuniting with her, and Liv hasn't been forthcoming in wanting to team with Ruby Riott, which obviously is completely understandable, because when Ruby Riott first returned to Monday Night Raw, she attacked Liv Morgan. Of course, she took the side of Lana. She came down that big shock attack. But I think the Riott Squad will continue. I don't think they're going to break up just yet. I do wish, however, they'd change the name and not call them the Riott Squad. I think the Riott Squad had its day, and it also had a third member who's not currently there. And I feel like if you change the name to something like Liv to Riott, I think I personally would be much more accepting of it. I think a lot of more fans would want to see a name change and something new, bring out new style merch. It could potentially work. But as I say, I don't think they're going to split. I think we're going to get them reunite. All's going to be well, but the seeds are currently being planted, with Liv and Ruby not very happy with each other all the time. A few disagreements here and there. The seeds are being planted. I think we will get a women's tag team title run for Ruby and Liv. I think WWE 100% need to do that. Personally, I think we all know, and we'd all agree, both Liv and Ruby deserve a great singles run, each of them. But at the moment, in WWE, the women's division is stacked. And if that's not physically possible right now, then you got to do something with them. And putting them in the tag division that seemingly needs a boost, that's a perfect thing to do. And I think eventually, after some time, after the tag title run, we will very likely see Ruby and Liv split up again. Whether that is Ruby Riott attacking Liv Morgan, maybe a heel run for Liv. I don't think we've ever seen a solo Liv Morgan heel run. I think that would really be interesting to see. I think we will get that split. I think we will see the Riott Squad again go their own way. And I think it will be okay. I think WWE are okay with Liv and Ruby. I think they're not going to waste their talent. Hence why they're still making sure they're used on WWE TV. And I know a lot of fans are upset when Liv or Ruby lose a match. Well, the truth is, they're not just losing a match. They're not just jobbing out. They're telling the story. The story is that Ruby did something to help Liv, yet it hindered Liv, and Liv then blamed Ruby for that. That shows that Liv, even now, does not trust Ruby Riott. And there's still a whole lot of work for the Riott Squad to do to get back on that same page. If she was just losing for the sake of losing, I'd agree with you 1000%. But she's not. She's losing to continue to tell the story. And that's fine. Now, I hope the Riott Squad reunion continues for a little bit longer. As I say, I do expect the split to happen maybe by the end of the year. Maybe. But I'd be interested to know your thoughts on the Riott Squad. Do you think potentially they're going to break up again in the future? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Of course, like the video. Share the video so your friends can find it. Follow me on Twitter at CWrestlingUK, and I'll see you as always next time. Peace!